So I am late to the game, but I am finally watching The Undertaker and Justin Nunley. And I'm listening to Justin's history of watching wrestling. He's like quite a bit older than I am. I'm 34. No, God, no, I'm not 34. I'm 37. Jesus. I'm 37. Am I? Yes. But I started watching when I was 3. And Monday Night Raw came on starting in 93. So I watched it from then. But the thing is, my bedtime was at 8 and wrestling came on at 8. And I got in a lot of trouble. Not for the vulgarity of it like Justin did, but because I was supposed to be in bed. But Shawn Michaels is my absolute first love. I love Shawn Michaels, and I get emotional about him because I love him so much. He's the reason I watched this sport for all the years I did. And I invited him up to my birthday party when I was 9. I sent a card somewhere to wrestling or something. I don't know. My mom said she sent it. You know, I don't think she ever sent it. Ugh, whatever. But Shawn was my man. My number one man. It was Shawn and Brett. And you see what that went sideways later on in life. But loved Shawn growing up. And I was 9 when Shawn Michaels was on the cover of the Playgirl. Okay, so what do I do that month that it comes out? We go to Piggly Wiggly where a lady from church works, and I asked her straight up, Miss Dot, y'all have Playgirl magazine? I asked her. My mom slapped me. I don't know how. I don't know if WWF magazine published it, but I had the centerfold at like 9 years old. My mom found it and threw it away. And now I actually have the full magazine now. But that's neither here nor there. Back to my love of wrestling. Growing up with a Shawn Michaels like obsession. Well, I adored that man. I still adore that man. My favorite version of Shawn is the worst version of Shawn. And I was having this conversation the other day about how 1997, 1998 Shawn Michaels, I loved that man. Complete asshole. Ugh. What a dick. But I loved him. Like I said, Shawn and Brett. 97 was a tough year. But yeah, Shawn was my man. And I'm listening to Justin Nunley talk about his love of the Attitude Era. And this is where this whole idea of this video came through. Oh, I love the Attitude Era. I mean, I was, 97? I was 10. When the Attitude Era was going through. And my mom never, I had a TV in my room as a child, so my mom never saw the shit Undertaker was doing when I was 10, you know? And Justin was saying that his mother wouldn't let him watch wrestling for the WWF because it was raunchy, because Sable was just a mess. She was just like, what? Yes! Let me take off my top, you know? It was, but that was good times. But I grew up with the Attitude Era just like Justin did, and I mean, I was having this conversation like 2 days ago. That was the best time. You know, that was just a glorious time to be a wrestling fan. And my top ones, you know, in the late 90s were Shawn, Brett, Triple H, Owen. And me and my friend, he loves Stephanie, and we've had countless conversations about Vince and what a piece of work he is. And you know, going through the Attitude Era and seeing what they did to Owen, you know, with his character, and then what actually happened to Owen, you know. This went from a fun to a depressing video very fast. I know it did. Well, whatever. But that was such a great time to be alive as a wrestling fan. But man, did it just have its peaks and its pits. But losing Owen was... I'm still not over losing Owen, by the way. Still traumatized on that one. But Shawn and Bret were just the culmination of... I remember I had to go to work with my mom one summer, and I took my VHS of WrestleMania 12, and I wore that thing out. I watched that Iron Man match probably 1,000 times in my childhood. I had all 12 VHS, because I think it was like a package deal or something. I had all 12 VHS of the first 12 WrestleManias. Maybe even 13. I think it was 12. But I wore WrestleMania 12 out. Bret and Shawn were the epitome of what I thought to be greatness at the time. We had Bret Hart, this legacy wrestler that came from Canada, trained in the dungeon, and Shawn, this brash young stud, because good God, he was gorgeous. I mean, they just... Ugh! Like I said, I love the asshole that was Shawn Michaels. I'm sorry. I love the good Christian man too, but that 1997 man, that 1998 jerk, woo! and I've talked about this with my friend Nick. I said there will never be a rivalry like Bret and Shawn. They cannot go on TV and have this hate like they did with Bret and Shawn, ever. Like, there's just... That could never happen again. And that's sad, because we had this rivalry for the ages. And I cry sometimes when I think about it. I got to live Shawn's career twice. Because after he got hurt in the casket match with Taker, that broke my heart. My kid was broken. And then to have him come back was just phenomenal. I take Shawn seriously, okay? But just to have his career and have him come back and not be the asshole and be this kind-hearted man, you know, I loved it. I think if you grew up in the 90s and you watched, you know, through Shawn's career, you forget that you got to see his career happen twice. And that was special. And I will never forget that one night in Montreal in 2009. You thought I was going to say 97. Okay? In 2009. When Shawn owned the crowd. You screw up, Bret. Oh, God, Montreal. I hated that man so much. And then he made it sound like Bret was going to come out. And then he's, oh, you idiots. And then he did it again with Hogan. Oh, you idiot. Oh, my God. I love that man. That version of Shawn is awesome. But Montreal was very difficult. And it sucks because, like I said, Bret and Shawn were my 1 and 2. Shawn and Bret. I loved them. They brought so much to the table, and it ended so badly. But we all got the fixture of it, you know, being handshake in the ring and all that. But you will never have a rivalry like Bret and Shawn. Ever. Ever again. Nothing will ever be as personal as it was with those two. Even with social media. It will never be like that ever again. And I was so grateful I lived through that. But, yeah. I love Justin Nunley, too. He's awesome. Oh, Shawn! I think I'm you. Okay, so all that to say, this is what got me on that little tangent I just had a few seconds ago. Yeah, hold on.
And just absolutely fell in love with the Attitude Era, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Attitude Era, man. It was the closest thing to just the Beatles and Elvis that there was for us.
Some of those storylines were crazy. I mean, I was thinking back the other day with Val Venus. Yeah, and then you had what was the guy's name that had the sword? Val Venus's wiener off.
I do remember.
What was his name?
It was a samurai sword. Was it Japanese kids, right? Yeah, I don't know if
What was his name?
Oh, gosh, dang it.
Little skinny, Japanese guy.
Yeah, chopped his wiener off.
Choppy, yo pee-pee is what
Okay, so going back to the Attitude Era. I'm blessed that on Facebook, I have become friends with some of these people that I watched growing up. I am friends with Val Venus, and I know you're like, oh God, he's like that, that conservative nut job. He's a great dude. I'm friends with Sunny. Love her, hate her. The person that I absolutely, the lady I obsessed with in the Attitude Era was not who you think. It wasn't Sable. She was gorgeous. I loved her. I loved Sunny back in the, was it the Golden Era? Whatever you want to call it. I loved Sunny. I loved Sable. But my girl was Ryan Shamrock. A girl after my own heart. Loved her. I'm friends with her on Facebook and her sister, but I'm friends with, like, the Road Dogg. Some of these awesome people. I mean, friends with his wife. I love her too. But, like, sometimes I'm like, I'm friends with some of these wonderful people I grew up watching. And it's just like, I'm friends with, like, half the Onawai family. Okay? They're, like, freaking dope, bro. Like, Roman Reigns' brother. I'm still friends with him. I'm still friends with Viscera. Or King Mabel. Hey! Like, if you go on my Facebook and you look at, like, you pull up a wrestling fan friend and you go look at mutuals, it gets crazy. One of my favorite people in the whole world. I love her. Let's go to, where's our mutual? Okay, 115 mutuals. Okay. Mutual friends. We have Billy Gunn. Love him. Butcher Vachon. Brian James. Armando Tatanka. Like, Sika. Matt Capitelli. Like, these are Rory McAllister. Frankie, because I think that's the real dude. I don't know. I'm friends with Diana Hart. I'm friends with Oj as well. Chris Masters. Michael Manna. I'm friends with Gerald freaking Briscoe. Like, this might not... Alicia. I freaking love Alicia. Harry Smith. I love him. Jackie. I love Jackie. Where's Vis? I'm friends with Roddy Piper's wife. Coach. Brian Pillman's son. Cool dude. I've had a few conversations with him as well. He's an amazing person. Amazing wrestler. Like, Nelson Frazier. This is just one person I'm friends with. We're friends with, like, everybody. Like, there's Matt Onawai. Stop that. Ryan Lawler. Ugh. Joe Laurinaitis. Like, there was a time my photo was on Ryan Shamrock's refrigerator with my other girl, Prissy. But these people I love. I've sent Christmas cards to Athena Hart. All these, Georgia Smith. Like, if you told me in 1990 something that one day you're going to be like friends with the Road Dogg, and I've met Road Dogg years ago. Like, I walked away from watching wrestling in 2013, I think, because I had the closure with Shawn, and Shawn retired, and Hunter was retiring. Well, he was becoming Paul Levesque, the man. I was on WWE.com for a minute. Like, wrestling was this huge part of my life. And I've had all these autographs. Like, I'm trying to find stuff to show y'all. I have Sunny. I have different autographs from her. Love her. Like, that's my autographs from Tammy. Y'all, Shawn Michaels has tweeted me. I tweeted him that I got his book and Taya Kyle's book. He's like, I'm in great company. I'm like, I can die now. Shawn knows I exist. Ryan Shamrock. Love her. I love Alicia. Like, I was friends with Terry for a while till she took all the fans off, I think. Well, most of the fans. Like, I was going to get, like, this is a long story. I was going to do, like, autograph of different people for a tattoo. I never got to do it, but, like, my walls were covered in wrestling posters. It was crazy. But it was such a huge part of my life for most of my life. People hated me for it, but I didn't care. I took the WWF magazine or WWE magazine, whatever, to school, and I was the girl that liked wrestling, unapologetically. And I didn't care. If you didn't like it, I'm sorry, I did not care. Christopher Daniels. Who was this dude? Slick Johnson, don't remember him. That was when they came to town. Someone that worked at the hotel let me know. I got to meet someone from DX, okay? I loved him. That's actually AJ Styles' child. That is, who is this again? Madison Rayne. The Kaz, Frankie Kazarian. AJ freaking Styles. That's AJ's kid. I got to meet him. Oh my gosh. I actually got to go in the ring because I was loud. There's Booker freaking T. Who is this dude? This is somebody. And I'm wearing Taylor Swift. Oh my God. Rude Charles. I don't remember who that is. Oh, and Robert Roode. I forgot I met him. That is Eric Young and Jeremy Borash. Oh, my Taylor Swift shirt. I'm gonna die. That's one of my friends I met through wrestling. But, like, that was my life for so freaking long. I'll have to do a video. And my first tattoo was a wrestling tattoo. It was the WWE logo. Okay. Okay. Triple H and Edge. I'll do another video in a minute. This has gotten so off topic. I went to WWF. What was it? In Your House, Beware of Dog. They came to Florence for a pay-per-view, and the freaking lights went out. They never came back again. I'm not saying this because the lights went out, but I'm just saying. Like, so much of my life was wrestling for so long. I'll do that video. Hold on.